Hi, it's Selena, and thank you so much for tuning in to Kids in the Kitchen with Montauk Library. And we are going to have a great Mother's Day, right? Even though we've been stuck in the house, there's so many ways that you can get your kids, whether it's teenagers or younger, into the kitchen, and cooking together will bring the family together, and you can have a lot of fun doing that. I have intuitive recipes, which means you can go ahead and make substitutions. You can make small changes and it always will come out great. It's very simple. The recipes will be posted on the Montauk Library blog webpage, and you can always check out hamptonshomecooking.com for more information. Like I said, this is what you want to do to come into the kitchen together as a family. So these recipes are super easy. We're going to get started making Mother's Day pancakes and a fondue style chocolate dipping sauce that you can have with beautiful fruits, or you can have with cookies or any cake you might have left over. Now, today I had some leftover cornbread and I just chopped it into 1-inch size pieces. And I had some bananas, so we're going to use bananas. You can use oranges, it's delicious, or apples. However you do it, you want to squeeze about a half a teaspoon of lemon juice and put it to the side, because the lemon juice will help your fruits stay nice and bright and not get browned. That's the secret. So you just cut your apple or whatever you have and just squeeze on a little bit of lemon juice. You can do this after you're done. You can put it into a bowl and dip it in. However you want to do it, it's easy. So we're going to cut our fruits into little wedges, which you just want to take your apple. I'll start from the beginning. And once again, if this is a kid in the kitchen and you are younger than 9 years old, please let your parents know you're going to be using the knives. But you want to have supervision to do that if you're younger. And you just cut half your apple and then you place it down on your cutting board to make the wedges. Just cut about a ½ inch with your slices. And sometimes you can even use a butter knife and it'll work. So when you're done, the slices look like this. And you will see the picture below. And then you put it in your bowl with a little squeeze of lemon juice and toss it up so that they don't get browned. And then the next fruit we're going to use is banana. You just take your banana and you cut it in about 3/4 of an inch slices. You don't want to use the little end part, so you put that to the side. So here's about the size of your banana, slippery. And you put it in with your fruits and just toss it. Remember to start with clean hands when you're cooking in the kitchen. And then the next thing I want to use is an orange. So for the orange, we start with a washed orange, and we're going to make really pretty slices like this. We're going to cut off the top and the bottom, and then we're going to take the orange and cut it in half so it looks like this. And you want to cut off the side with any of the white inside because it just doesn't look pretty. And then you want to take about a ½ inch pieces of orange, slice it all the way down. And so here is what your orange slices look like. So you put that in a bowl. Now, what we're going to do when we dip the oranges is we're dipping the whole half of the orange with the rind, but of course you don't have to eat that, so you can just eat it this way. So you'll see when we're done what I'm talking about. Where is my trusty, wonderful little kitchen towel? Here it is. Okay, so I have my chopped cornbread, and then you have your fruits. We're going to put this to the side for a minute. And now I'm going to show you the easy way that you can make delicious chocolate sauce. Super easy. We're going to save the lemons because we are going to make lemon pancakes, and we are going to make chocolate chip or chocolate pancakes for Mom. So you want to get a little glass mug. You can use any kind of mug. It can be a coffee mug or a little cup, or you can use a little bowl like I did earlier, just a ramekin. We're going to make this chocolate dipping sauce. Or you can also use just a little cereal bowl. Simple. So we're going to take a half a cup of chocolate chips. You can use white chocolate if you like white chocolate, or you can use dark chocolate, semi-sweet, or if you are cooking with what you have at home, because it's quarantine cooking, you can also use some Easter candy like Hershey's Chocolate Kisses or little tiny mini chocolate bars. You can use that. So we're going to use a half a cup of chocolate chips. There you go, your half cup. Put it in a microwave safe bowl, glass or mug like I showed you. And then we're going to use a tablespoon of milk. So I have a half tablespoon here. I'm going to do this twice. Okay, very good. So it looks like this. Now let's microwave this for about 20 seconds or so, and then we're going to check it and stir it. This is a really, really easy dipping sauce, and you could do it with cookies or whatever you like. So 20 seconds, we're going to wait for that. And then what we do is we stir it just to check and see what it's like. Chocolate can melt when you're stirring it. You don't want to cook it too much because then it'll burn in the microwave. So here we go. We're going to do it a few times to check and make sure that it all worked out. So here's your chocolate, and as you see, it looks soupy, right? Well, we're just going to keep stirring. I'm just going to stir and stir and stir. And then this is a great activity for the kids. If you're a family member, mom, grandma, or dad, and you're watching this video, this is really great to do together. We want to get everyone in the kitchen working together. As you see, the more I stir it, you don't have to put it back into the microwave if it's already melting. You just keep stirring it. Now, if you don't want to use the chocolate fondue recipe, you can keep this, and we're going to use this to make chocolate pancakes. You need a nice little dish to serve this on because it's all about the presentation with something this simple. We cut our fruits and prepared them, and now we're just making the chocolate sauce. See, it's getting even more liquidy. You just keep stirring. Don't be tempted to add in any more milk. It will work out because you want to coat the fruits really nicely. Okay, now you see it's getting a little hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the microwave for another 20 seconds. And this is how you do it so you don't burn your chocolate. Because there's nothing worse than burnt chocolate except burnt what? Garlic. Those are the two worst things. So we're going to wait a few seconds. And now while we're waiting, I want to tell you some ingredients that we're going to need for the pancakes. You're going to need oil or butter or a combination of them both. So you can get that out of your pantry. And you're also going to need flour and baking soda and baking powder, salt, and we're going to make lemon pancakes, so you're going to need lemons. We're going to need a little sugar in that. And let's see, we're going to need eggs, 2 eggs. So here's your chocolate dipping sauce. This is all done. And now what you do to make this really nice is you get a nice dish. I think this one is great. Just a little serving dish. And you put your chocolate dipping sauce in a nice little container. I also had this container that I used earlier. So I might just use this one again. Or you can use this nice little glass dish. And you just pour in your chocolate sauce. That'll be for extra dipping. And then, if you get a little chocolate on the side, you just take a little paper towel or napkin and wipe it off so it looks nice. So you can serve this with a little spoon, put it in the middle of your plate, and now you take your beautiful fruits and you can arrange them around the plate, or you can go ahead and dip them. So I'll show you how. You just take your piece of fruit and you want to get a nice little corner coated with chocolate, just like I'm doing here, like that. And then arrange it in a nice little circle on the plate. So we're going to start with these beautiful apples. Dip and arrange. And then you can take cut up cubed cake pieces or cookies, and you just dip the edge and arrange on your plate. This is so easy and a nice surprise for Mom. And you make a nice little pattern on your plate. And I'll show you what I was talking about with the oranges. Let me just scrape this into the spoon. So you want to start this little arrangement on the plate. And then you just make a nice half dip and coat it. Looks so good, doesn't it? And we'll do one more orange. Delicious. And that is a delicious little Mother's Day treat with some extra chocolate dipping sauce. Hello, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. Really nice. The nice little cup of coffee on the side. And then she can have her delicious orange or apple. And it's nice and fudgy and good. Now the next thing we're going to do is you're going to save some of this chocolate sauce. So I had made some earlier. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a little bit more melted chocolate in here, just like we did. So you're going to start with a half cup of the chocolate chips. And that was perfect. And remember, we're going to put in a tablespoon of milk. Now you can use almond milk or soy milk for this. That's just as good. And we're going to make chocolate pancakes with this. So let's get this melted just like we just did. 20 seconds, check, and another 20 seconds. And stirring all the time. Now, when I make pancakes, I like to use a mix of a little butter in the pan and a little bit of canola oil or any kind of cooking oil that you have, vegetable oil, because I like the taste and the crunch that butter gives, but I don't want it to be too greasy and I don't want it to stick to the pan. So I make a mix. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of cooking oil in my cooking pan here, frying pan. Let's check that chocolate. Okay, this looks great. And to that, I'm going to put about a teaspoon of butter. Now, I didn't turn this on yet. We're going to come back to this. Multitasking for the video. And so here's your chocolate sauce. I'm just going to stir this. It's really good. Stirring it up, stirring it up. Some spilled. Okay. Gets messy with chocolate, doesn't it? But it's all good. So here we go, I'm stirring. I want to show you what this looks like. So this is a half a cup of homemade chocolate sauce. The same dipping sauce we just made. I'm going to make chocolate pancakes with this. So now we're going to start with the pancakes. You're going to get out your flour and your salt and your baking soda and your milk. We're going to need cooking oil. We're going to need 2 eggs. We're going to need some lemon zest, some lemon juice, and some sugar and your flour. So let's start with the flour. Let's sift the flour if you have a sifter to make it nice and fluffy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the basic pancake recipe, and then we're going to split it in half and make two versions. So it's 2½ cups of flour. That's 1 cup. We're just going to sift it into this bowl. Then you're going to need sugar. Now, if you don't have sugar and you want to use honey or even maple syrup, you can use that and put that in when we put in the wet ingredients, just not now. But if you have sugar, we're going to put that in right after the flour. So here we are, 2½ cups regular all-purpose flour. You can use whole wheat flour. It'll be a little bit of a denser pancake, but you can do that. So there we go, 2½ cups of flour. And now we're going to add in the sugar. So it's 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I have my ½ tablespoon. So 4 ½ tablespoons is 2 tablespoons. And then I want to get my whisk to I like to pre-blend dry ingredients so that everything is sure mixed. So now we're going to add a little bit of baking soda, a ½ teaspoon. And some baking powder, 1½ teaspoons baking powder. Okay. And 1 teaspoon salt. There we go. I like just a little dash extra salt, just a dash. Okay, now whisk these dry ingredients together. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay. Now we're going to get the wet ingredients mixed. So we want to break 2 eggs to start. Now, I want to tell you something. If you have 1 egg, because it's quarantine cooking, it's okay. So we're going to do 2 eggs. Okay. And I just want to wipe off my hands. Okay. Whisk these eggs up. Now there are some chocolate pancake recipes that say take your egg whites out and whip them separately. But this is kids and families in the kitchen, so we're not going to be that fancy. We're just going to put it all together. I want to make it easy for you to remember the recipe. And now what we can do is we can melt some butter in the microwave. I kind of like that addition. So we're going to do 3 tablespoons of melted butter, but you can do oil. If you're running low on butter, you can just use oil. So I'm going to go ahead and melt that. And you can also just use oil in the pan, or you can use your butter oil mixture if you have enough butter. And now we need milk. So for our milk, this is going to be 1½ cups milk. The butter melted in the microwave is going to start really going crazy. So you want to get it after about, gosh, no more than 20 seconds. And you'll see there's still a lump of butter in here, but it's going to melt down with the rest of the hot butter. You just have to be a little patient and let it be. Stir it a little bit and it'll melt down. You don't have to put it back in the microwave because then it's going to get too hot and separate too much. So you want to just do this and keep stirring until it melts. So now I've got my milk and my eggs. I'm going to whisk them together. And then I'm going to put about a teaspoon of vanilla extract in here. So this is my half teaspoon, so you're going to see me use 2 of these. Now don't forget, I'm going to half this because I'm going to make the chocolate version and the lemon version. And now you want the butter to cool a little bit because you don't want it to cook the eggs in here, okay? Because it will, believe it or not, it'll be crazy. So when this is cooled a little bit, you can even swirl it around and get some air in it to cool it. And then just drizzle it in here and whisk. There we go. Now we're going to separate the wet, because we're going to make 2 different versions. So I'm going to put half in one bowl and keep half in another. And I'm going to do the same thing with the dry ingredients. Okay, so for the dry ingredients, I need another bowl. Here we are. Actually, get a different one. Okay, so I'm going to put half of the flour that we had here, the baking soda and the baking powder. Now I'm just eyeballing this, but you can get technical and see how many cups is in here and half it if you want to do the same thing, or you can just make one kind. The first kind we're going to make is going to be chocolate pancakes. So I'm going to put in my wet ingredients, get every last drop out, and stir this together. I think it's really fun to make pancakes because you will always find new things to do, new ways to make them, and it's just intuitive cooking. So you want to adjust recipes as you go along. And I'm going to show you how. When I was mixing this and I halved it, I noticed it's a little thicker than I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and add just about, I'm going to use my measurer, so I don't want to do too much. I'm going to add another 1/4 cup milk. And I want you to do the same, because when you're making recipes, if you notice, that just doesn't look quite right, I want you to not be afraid. I want you to be fearless in the kitchen. Now, did I do this on purpose? I might have. Because I want to show you that with all recipes, you can adjust. So here's your consistency for pancakes. And then we're going to add some chocolate to this. So we're going to take the chocolate that we had melted and add a 1/2 cup, a lot, of melted chocolate and milk into this batter. Here you go. And you're just going to want to stir, 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 and incorporate. Now I want to think about making these pancakes and what kind of pancakes I want. If you want more of a crepey style pancake, guess what you can do? You can add in a little water. If you want more of a dense pancake, you can leave it as it is. So I'm going to add in just a little bit of water because I want it to be a little bit thinner. So I added about 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to stir this up. Okay, I like it. And this will be your chocolate pancakes. So now here is the secret. I have in my pan that tablespoon butter with the oil, or teaspoon butter, and I'm going to put it on medium high. Now in the next pan, I'm going to make the lemon pancakes. So I'm going to heat this up on medium high, And I'll show you how to make the lemon batter. Now this is super easy. We're going to take the flour, put it in our bowl. That was our flour mixture with the baking powder and everything. Take our egg mixture. And we're going to add some lemon zest and lemon juice. I don't know if you have one of these, but I have an old-fashioned lemon juicer that I love. But you can also just squeeze your lemon into a bowl. But you want to be careful of the pits. So if you're squeezing your lemon into a bowl, say I was doing this and just squeezing it into a bowl, I'm going to show you my trick. So you want 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. After you squeeze your lemon juice into the bowl, you can just take a fork and take out the pits. It's super easy, gets them all the time, and there's never really a problem with that. Pits are out. And that is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now for the next one, I'm going to use my trusty old-fashioned juicer. If you have a highfalutin electric juicer, you can use it. And another nice big teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm going to get my fork and make sure I don't have any pits in here. Sometimes they're little tiny ones, you gotta look. And add in my 2nd tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, let's see. Oh, my pan's heating up for the chocolate. I'm gonna lower the pan for the lemons because I'm not ready yet. And now let's dump in some batter for the chocolate pancake. Now you're going to just want to make a size that you like. You might like smaller pancakes, you might like larger pancakes. But the main thing is, I just want you to feel comfortable with cooking and get used to cooking, no matter what you're making. Make your adjustments and be confident in what you're doing. And the only way to do that is to get in the kitchen and to try. And to just try your best at what you're doing. And it'll all work out because you can always change things. You can always adjust things. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm teaching you. I don't like things that are really set in stone because then you feel too insecure about cooking. So what I'm trying to show you is you can make mistakes, you can adjust, you can use different ingredients and just see what works for you. And it'll all work out if you just keep doing it and keep getting in there, and it's always fun. So chocolate pancakes are cooking, and now let's get back to the lemon. So I lowered my pan because I had that on, it was too soon. So right now we want to do about a teaspoon of lemon zest. If you don't have a zester, believe it or not, you can actually kind of grate it down by taking a fork and running it on the sides of the lemon. And then taking a butter knife and just scraping some of the lemon zest off the lemon. So here you go. That's about, I like a lot of lemon flavor. So believe me, if you want to add in a little bit more lemon juice or zest, it's fine. There we go. Now it's about a teaspoon. I like it nice and lemony. Now let's mix up this batter and let's see, do we need to add a little bit more milk? Yeah, I think so. Let's add, I got to do it like this. Let's add another quarter cup milk to this. Okay. Now you want to check your pancakes, and when they're bubbling on top, turn them over. And I see them bubbling. Now, when you make your chocolate pancakes, it's going to look a lot darker on the tops when they're cooking, and that's okay. It's still good. These are really puffing up and cooking great. I'm going to make a couple of these. And as you cook your pancakes, a trick is you're always going to want to have your butter and your oil handy, because after every batch, you want to add in a little bit more to grease the bottom. But I'll tell you, you always want to lower the flame because it will get too hot, and it stays pretty hot. So lower your flame. These are puffing up really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to take out the first batch, and I'm going to keep going. Now, if you see some of the butter is a little bit browned in your pan, lower your flame and add some more oil or butter. Then take your pan off for a little while and cool it down. I'm going to cool this down for a minute by putting it on one of the burners that's not on, or shutting off the burner, and then waiting a few minutes. Now we're going to start with our lemon pancakes any minute. Stir these up. It's looking really good. I want to add a little bit more milk. So I want these to be kind of thick, but not too thick. Here's your lemon batter. Okay. So we're going to get going with all these. This is going to be fast and furious. All right, let me get my butter in the pan. So a teaspoon of butter and a tablespoon of oil. Depends how big your pan is, because with this pan it was a little smaller, so I put a teaspoon of butter, about a teaspoon and a half of oil. This one was bigger. All right, so let's get another batch of chocolate pancakes on. And then we'll put our lemon pancakes in the pan. Multitasking a lot today on this Mother's Day special. So that's what moms do, right? So today is the day you want to give her a treat and make her something for brunch or breakfast that she's going to like. Or moms, this is your time to get the kids in the kitchen and have a little fun, right? Do something together. So there's your chocolate pancakes. And you want to keep that flame on low. And then let's go ahead with the delicious lemon pancakes and get these started. Now you can use a ladle to make it nice and even. And put a ladle scoop in here. I would say you can use a big tablespoon and do that as well. And put, a couple of tablespoons per each pancake, maybe like 5 tablespoons. Now they're going to look a little rustic when you do this, which is good. That's okay. Because that's actually pretty sometimes. So these lemon pancakes are cooking. And it's time to flip over the chocolate pancakes. I'm sure. How do you know when to flip them? You want to see a couple of bubbles on top, and you want to see the batter rising just a little bit. You'll see it start to rise, and then you'll see a couple of bubbles on top, and that's when you flip them. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm waiting on these chocolate and lemon. And there's so many different ways you can serve this when you're ready. You can put a little drizzle of chocolate syrup on top. You can put a little lemon zest and powdered sugar. And that is how we're going to serve our lemon pancakes today. But first, we need a nice clean plate. And you have your lemon here for the zesting. You can put some of that fresh fruit with the chocolate on the side as well. That would be pretty. Okay, let me get my spatula And I'm going to show you. You see the bubbles coming up in the center of the pancake? I told you they were rustic, right? So these are ready to flip. Oh, they look so pretty. Ah, beautiful. You see a little browning around the edges. And we got to get our chocolate flipped. Whoa. Okay, so we're almost ready to plate the lemon pancakes. So I want to get a little bit of powdered sugar. And then we'll put some lemon zest. There's so many fun things that you can do with maple syrup too. You can cook it on the stove, like a cup of maple syrup with a little bit of butter, and you can squeeze some orange juice and a little bit of orange zest and make an orange maple syrup. That's so good. You can heat up some fruits like blueberries if you're making the lemon pancakes and put some blueberry syrup on top. That's good. We might do something like that. Okay, these are almost done. Nice. Okay, chocolate pancakes are done. So maybe I will start with a stack of the chocolate pancakes. And then I think, do I want to put a little chocolate syrup on them, or do we want to put a little bit of powdered sugar? A really fun thing that you can do is have a little sifter and sift the powdered sugar. So I don't know if you do have a sifter, but this always is really nice looking. So I'm going to take some powdered sugar out of the bag and sift it over the pancakes. I think that'll be really pretty on the beautiful chocolate pancakes. Let's do that. We'll put it in the center and put some powdered sugar on top. And then you can add some banana slices or blueberry slices, or you can really go crazy with the chocolate syrup. I might do that. Let's put this to the side for a minute and get the lemon pancakes out. These look delicious. These are really good. Here's your lemon pancakes, nice and fluffy. And what we can do for this is put some blueberries on top. But what am I going to do? They won't stay. I'll show you what you can do. You're going to put them in the pan. Get them warm. And then after we warm them up, we're going to put a little bit of the powdered sugar right in the pan so that they have a little sticking action. Here we go. But it's not on, it's not heated. And then get them in, I can put them in between the pancakes and put some on top. Stay on top. Let me get a little fork and I'll help them. This is a tricky one. We got to make it nice for Mom though. I think it's because my pancake is a little bit lopsided. And then Put a little powdered sugar. You can always just fix them perfectly on top. That looks good. There is your lemon blueberry pancake for Mom for a beautiful Mother's Day. And maybe a final dusting of powdered sugar. Delicious. And now let's get back to the chocolate pancake. And let's make just a little bit more chocolate sauce, but this time, I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit more milk so that I can drizzle it on top. This is just for the presentation. So you want to take what you have left over, put a little bit of milk so it melts into a sauce, like a teaspoon of milk. This is just from the remaining ingredients that we had with the chocolate in here. I'm going to get my chocolate pancakes. Now, let's go back and get these fruits that we had, and we're going to really do some decorating. I'm going to steal a little bit of this chocolate sauce from before and mix it up. Just using the remaining chocolate so I can get a thinner chocolate sauce, because that's what you want to use to pour over. And I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so earlier we had this chocolate sauce a little bit thicker. Now it's thinner because this we're going to drizzle over our chocolate pancake. And maybe put a little drizzle on the bottom of the plate like that. Oh, that looks really good. And then garnish it with these nice fruits that we made, the chocolate fondue fruits. And there is your Mother's Day chocolate pancake. Yum. You can even go ahead and do another sprinkle of powdered sugar on top. Delicious. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I'm going to try this in about a minute because I'm a mom and I get to try it, right? So I hope you had fun. I hope you learned to be comfortable in the kitchen, make adjustments, have a fun time, and I hope that you're serving your mom something great for Mother's Day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Now, goodbye.